Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to killer7. Let's see. Yep. Man, the delay on the like, subscribe, and notification bell is frankly too slow. And I really need to have it play just like in the first second or so. Just because it's a little bit too much of a pause to be at the pause menu and wait for it. So we've got an interesting situation here where we know that there's people to take on, but I don't think I can hit them or scan them until I cross this line. And let's see, let's just go through this first and go invisible. Now, noticeably, I don't think that... Alright, so they really wanted to trick you into running into a lot of these guys. Interesting. So maybe I'm supposed to do just one charged attack there instead of two charged attacks. We have this weird path where we're going just down this way to turn on some lights, I think, and get a password, and then, or something like that, and then we're gonna come right back. The problem with these protectrons is that it's kind of hard to tell whether they're the super strong versions or just the strong versions, and they threw a lot of enemies at us to give us thin blood for this section. If you were completely out of thin blood, if you just stumbled through the game up until this point and had to use a lot of thin blood to refill your health, then yeah, you'd have to go back and grind, and that would be really frustrating. Right, so now we have a second house with a lot of people and some more things to do. Are we in the middle here, or on the left or right? Yeah, it seems like we're in the middle. Mostly, as long as I don't throw a lot of people at me, this is going to be a fairly easy experience. Have to actually hit the guy. Let's see, we have another security system off. Alright. So that unlocks a door somewhere. People sneaking up behind me. So now we're in a bedroom. Go ahead and hit that. It gets a little formulaic, kind of obviously. There's a child entrance, and then there's Travis over here. Let's talk to this guy. This is one hot and muggy day. The old man must be really feeling this. Now where could he be hiding? Maybe this way. Nah, at this size, only a kid could fit through. So the story is kind of creepy. Certainly that we have a character here that can go through kid entrances, and these kid entrances exist in general. I don't know if the idea here really is that our character here is a kid. He kind of looks like a young punk, I'll say that, but not that kid-like. How's Clements? He's going to become a big man. He has my DNA. The teachings of Yakumo will guide him. My life was a blur of risk-taking. I'd suffer withdrawal without the constant stimulus of danger. Garcia Smith, I'm just like you. You have to kill just to feel alive, right? Well, I have to face to death. We are both bound by our passions. I'm still missing half of the dialogue in these. And we're just seeing these... Well, we're seeing these, like, ghosts of people we assassinated. Right. It doesn't use blood to go through the child entrances. So I could just play as this guy. So you can see that is not easier by any means than just switching back to Masked Smith. And it does just kind of feel like there's a fairly high... This guy's coming this way. Fairly high difference in the amount of damage you do with this guy. Oops. Probably should have just ran. Yep. Between being like at level 2 and being at... Let's go this other direction. Being at level 3 seems to be a major difference. You kind of just have a situation here where you need to take him out and then move forward as fast as possible. Here we have our hint giver. It's only natural. It's time for me to sleep. So I stay on guard. Shoot the mask to hear more. But the mask lasts for thick blood. Okay. Really all we need to do is see the map. Because if there's just like nothing here. Let's see. This Masked Smith is at 3-3-2-3, whereas Khan is at 2-2-2-2, and there's a fairly big difference there. We should recover since we are full up on blood anyways. You do have this weird situation where walking closer he's dangerous and exactly what you should do. Now I'll just turn around and attack this guy. Alright. And we have another bedroom. Which, yeah, it's not really a ridiculous amount of bedrooms. In all fairness, I don't know how you would make bedrooms particularly creepy. Like you'd have to just have like blood on the walls or something like that to make them seem creepier. Or you know what you would do is, and see, they just don't have that many small 3D models of things to use. But what you would do is you'd probably have like teddy bears or underwear, like kids underwear all over the place, for the theme of this guy is a pedophile. So we use the time ring to rewind the clock again. Now it'll give us another one of these soul bullets. Even the soul bullets are weird in that they seem to be weirdly vacuum sealed into right, there's a garbage chute. Okay, well, let's switch to con. And go to the garbage chute and see where this leads us. Well, interestingly, that put us back. I feel like there's very possibly something behind me just that's gonna hit me. There's no good reason to avert your eyes, though, when you have an enemy in front of you. Yeah. So the garbage chute was just there. Right. So what's interesting about that is there is a security panel that was here, but we can't access it. So we just went in circles. And I just don't think we are quite ready to do this part either. Because you go forward on this, and it takes you directly to another side of the room. So it does just feel like the game lets you take a shortcut too early. It is uncertain whether any damage whatsoever is being done to this when you miss the mask, and it's a one-hit kill when you don't miss the mask. I feel like I probably would have killed it by now if there was actual damage being done there. And yeah, you're just not going to get anywhere with that. against that guy, so I should have just switched to Master Smith.
Adios.
I suppose this is what you would really need if this was going to be a more on-the-rails shooter, is that you would need longer sniper alley type environments. Or just being on rails a lot more so that you are always moving. And okay, so we've seen both of the rooms, but the middle hallway still has something to show. Right. So a big fight around that. I desperately need to save because I haven't saved since even the beginning of this episode. I'm probably an hour and 20 minutes since the last time I saved. Alright. 800 deciliters of blood. Getting us almost certainly enough to upgrade Kaede to the max level. And yeah, I think that's probably where this is going to boil down to, is that we'll
What the fuck are you looking at?
continue to try and like upgrade her criticals, and then we won't have enough for that. And then let's see. I think there might just be an argument
Yeah,
around
I'll
getting
just set them up.
everything to
I'll just set them on fire.
level
Piece of cake.
3. And so we'll just go through all the
Feel my blood
ones.
rushing through my body.
What the fuck are you looking at?
Yep. And that's not gonna get me as far as I would like it to get me, certainly. He has an invisibility ability that I guess maybe you're actually supposed to use that in battles, but I don't think you can actually use it in boss battles, so he's probably not really a viable character to play as. And save. So let's go ahead and overwrite this one. And get back out here. Just killing that big group gets you 74 deciliters and has us at 20 thin blood. So off to the large hall for, I guess, another boss fight with the weird anime girl looking character. Like a flower that blooms in the soil of Cornwall, I shall administer retribution to a strange vermin at Graceland, for I am the chairman of the Educational Guidance Council. Like, this is kind of a great example of where like, kind of a great example, I think, of, I guess I'm just supposed to hit her a couple of times. But let's actually pause and refill our health while we're at it. So it's supposed to be like she's a magical girl, and it seems like we have to do a lot more damage to her this time, and have to be a lot more accurate. So no off shots. This definitely feels like this is the improved version of what they were going for in the previous fight. Like, it still very much is a gimmick and a puzzle more than an actual fight. Let's try this instead. Yeah, if I'm supposed to be doing a charged attack, it doesn't feel like there's quite enough time for that. Yeah. We could be doing this wrong, however, and I could be not getting anywhere close to the right amount of damage. Like, was there some hint? It does seem like we are moving the phases forward. Let me ask this question. Can I even run? Like, can I even run in a specific direction? Yes, I can. And there is even a... And she's just straight up like sliding now. Alright. So should we just go with Kaede instead? Yeah. So Kaede died again. It kind of feels like we probably should be playing as Kon to just to take out Kon. Now we have no like thin blood at all, so if that whole boss fight is supposed to be around
can feel no remorse when seeing a dead
using a lot of your health.
merely cold and rotting.
That's not gonna work.
Fuck 'em.
Maybe I'm supposed to just use my invisibility in the fight. Yep. It does seem like Kun here manages to stagger them fairly well. Noticeably, we can't like, just not getting that thin blood back. And we can't fully dodge damage. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to just be taking a lot of hits or if there's some other trick to this. I think we would have won by now. If that was all there was to it. Yeah, I just want to kind of give up at this point because I just don't think that's the right move. All right. And so we don't really have a log or a hint to go back to. So honestly, the best thing to do would be to exit to the menu here, hit continue, and just load the save spot before we enter the fight. Yeah, I just don't know what the trick is. Like doing massive amounts of damage with Yep. Doing massive amount of damage with that character doesn't seem to be right. I can't imagine that Coyote would be right. Maybe Kevin is right. We did play with Kevin quite a bit here. Is Kevin the one with the invisibility too? I think he is. Alright, we'll try Kevin. Equip the stamina ring. We can just go ahead and skip the transformation scene. It does definitely feel like a different experience when throwing knives. Like the fact that you can just pull this off and not really take any damage at all is a little surprising. And he doesn't ever run out of bullets because he's throwing knives, so... So you don't have that reload problem. And this definitely seems doable if we are just trying to take out this character. Now if there's something more to this, which feels like there very possibly is, then I would have to assume it centers around doing this and trying to activate this. And I guess we'll run this way and just see if there's anything around that. Let's turn around and get back kind of in the middle. I might as well just always be throwing blades. It's kind of hard to target from this distance, certainly, but it's not crazy hard. But doesn't it feel like this would be done by now? If that was how this was supposed to be done? This is too much of a pattern. Let's see if there's anything else that we could possibly hit. Like, we couldn't even shoot the lights. Right. Yeah, I don't even know what an extra attack here would be. Like, a one bullet attack does seem to do something differently in the animation. That doesn't seem to be the right move. Well, let's switch over to Dan, and let's see if we can just shoot her with Dan with any accuracy. Come on, give me a clear shot. Yep. Well, that didn't work. So if it's not Kevin, and it's not Dan, and it's not Con, and it's not Master Smith, let's just see if Coyote can do something. Like, he only has this one upgraded gun. It really does feel like Kevin is the best bet here. Are we supposed to be possibly just hitting the security system? Let's just run this way and see if we can target that. Nope. What I probably need to do is bring up Kaede and just see if there's a possibility of some kind of zoomed in shot that I need to make. Unless it really is just a case that this guy is so weak but such a fast shooter. Like, I'm mostly just going for center mass here. Alright. Let's try Kaede. Let's try her critical lock ability. Like, I'm not really seeing anything glowing in yellow. Okay. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just look up a walkthrough trick, because
Don't make me say it again.
this seems weird that I'm having this much trouble. 7 encounter part 2 anime girl. Nope, that's a YouTube video. I don't want to watch that. Apparently there was a TV miniseries in 2018. Come on. Unless Garcia Smith is supposed to be the one taking out her. I just don't think that's the case.
cleaner. I can feel no remorse when seeing a dead body. To me, it's merely cold, rotting flesh.
Okay. So, just continuing through a walkthrough, which this is going to be long because there's multiple parts. Click to continue, and part 2 took me to part 2 of the walkthrough, not encounter part 2, which is much further along in the game. This definitely is the danger, certainly, of all the experimentation that Killer 7 is doing here, in that it can just create a scenario where you won't have a clue as to what you're supposed to be doing, and that's exactly where I am at this point. It's like, it seems like I should be able to beat that anime girl somehow. I feel like shooting her when she was lit up was the way you defeated her before. So wouldn't that be the same thing? Let's see. Almost to it. Reading the instructions on how to beat her the first time just to make sure I understood what I did. Okay. Ayami will run around for a long time with a progressively more difficult pattern. You won't need to move at all. Just keep your sights on her and she'll soon die for good. When Ayame is dead, examine the security panel and turn on the lights near the pool. What? Just as before, your best bet is to fight using the mass grenades. As the windows shutters open up, aim for the area that is lit up and fire the enemy. Hitting her dead on is somewhat difficult, but you can easily hit her by aiming to the area near her feet. The blast of the explosion should be enough to make her scream and run to the next window. Okay, so it's saying play as Mask. Which, where are we as far as light blood? Probably not exactly where we'd like to be as far as thin blood. The mass grenades are the question, certainly, as to which one of those actually are. Let's put the power ring on instead. Go this way. So. The problem I'm seeing here definitely seems to be that so we'll just aim for the ground somewhat, but I'm still not 100% sure I believe I have enough health here. Is it possible I was really close to a victory and I just didn't pursue it far enough? Or is there some more trick to this? We have probably like 7 health things. But maybe I shouldn't go into the health thing at all. Yeah, that worked way easier. So maybe going into the menu was somehow resetting it. And so there you see a more human face behind the anime mask, and not a face that I'd particularly say was a like kid's face. It seems like what they're going for is 18, 19-year-olds here. They're not going for 16-year-olds or things like that. So turning off the security systems oddly turns on the light in the pool, which usually security systems would be activated when there was light. So best case scenario, you're making an assumption here that either, and see if I went to Kaede to try to get a zoom in here, I don't think I'd actually succeed very well. Either this is an adult that was stealing the orphans, or the way in which they're depicting kids is just a little bit older than particularly the moe or kawaii anime styles that are more prevalent these days. Although in all fairness, when this game came out, I imagine the moe and kawaii art styles were not even anything like what they are now in anime. Just totally cannot take on that guy. So we are going to stick with Master Smith, and we are going to hope that we can get some thin blood, and we're just going to go ahead and power ourselves up. This hallway still is not marked green, which kind of gives you this weird feeling that you maybe missed some content in the hallway, but I'm going to just assume that that's not really the case, and it's more case that just whichever room you're in is always marked in as yellow. The little side straddles here coming downstairs. It's honestly better to have ramps than stairs in games anyways. It's easier to animate. It has less focus around yeah, that eventually took enough damage. There's a lot more awkward physics on sharp right angle stairs than a ramp, but it would be kind of weird if there was a ramp there. Personally, I wouldn't like to go down or up any stairs without handrails. Okay. So, there's something you can actually shoot there under water. Something else just ran into me. Didn't even see it. Okay. So we go North Pole side. And I think the map tells us that there's something mask has to shoot. And then we're going to obviously drain the pool and go through some kind of magical doorway in the pool. Let's see what Ozaru has to say. Forgive my criticism. Forgive my arrogance. Lord knows I hate myself for this. The self-loathing is frothing over, drowning in my own pool of hate. Empty the pool, empty it now, for all our sakes, in the name of Harman. You would think this would be just a... Wow, that nearly blew up in my face and killed me. And it did do a lot of damage. We'll go ahead and just equip the fire ring. Yeah, I don't know how we're really supposed to drain the pool. Maybe there is a switch in this far corner. Yeah. There's a valve. We have both pieces. So now we can drain it. So yes, we did just need to collect the key pieces, like every other point in the game. And then this we need to switch to Coyote to unlock. Not that there's really a reason why you would need to unlock this path. Yeah, there's this weird disconnect here between what the game could be and what the game actually is. Because obviously what the game actually is a fairly straightforward linear experience, but it wants to imply that there would be reasons to go backwards and forwards. The only reason there would be a reason to do that, though, is if you hadn't gotten all the soul bullets. Which, really at that point, if you hadn't gotten all the soul bullets, you should probably just force the player to run back the way they came. A secret underground under the pool area is weird, except for almost as hot as that fateful day, right, Smith? The chief knew that this was an unlucky day. It ain't good for the old man either, because one deep down below and all the skeletons come out of the closet. Yeah, not really a lot of stories there. I guess maybe the idea here was that this would have been a secret area that people were spying on people underwater with, like a one-way mirror type thing, even though it's not depicted as a really a mirror-like surface. Getting a couple more vials probably isn't going to help me much. And making serum from thick blood doesn't lead to...
Piece of cake.
It doesn't lead to refilling your health. Okay. Let's go ahead and save. And then that'll have to be the end of this episode. I suspect we aren't as far away from the I suspect there's probably still some room between now and the boss fight, that we wouldn't just run into a boss fight. Although, noticeably, every boss fight really does seem like it is weirdly more of a puzzle and kind of shorter. That was the first time we've ever run into a situation where the game actually feels challenging. So I guess you have to go this road. And so there is a whole secret doorway that we'll go through. Yeah. We can look at the power settings here, and we're just, I guess, slowly trying to get everything up to 333s. And that'll be a while. Or we're trying to save up to get Kaede to 555s. But honestly, I don't feel like she plays quite well enough for my style of shooting that I would really want her as a 555. Even in a new game plus scenario where I was starting at the beginning of the game, her critical lock doesn't work as well as I would have liked it to. If anything, Kon at a 555 might be a better character for me personally. Yep. And I guess there's just not a lot more to say, so that's going to be it for this recording. I am still fairly surprised that I've made it this far in this game, but it does seem like we are potentially going to run into points where it's going to start to feel like it's dragging out a little too much if we run into boss fights that are weird and if I have to look at walkthroughs. The good news is, though, who knows how long the last couple levels may be, and so that it may really just speed up the whole process. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and give me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.